Hello everyone, this is Ninja. This is episode 11 of Block and Pox server, and this is going to be the season finale. We're going to switch over to the Unhinged pack. Not going to add any other mods in or anything. There was a lot of suggestions about, you know, either adding Greg Tech into Unleashed or possibly adding Thaumcraft into the Unhinged pack, but after kind of looking into it a little more, I decided it's better to just go with a pack that's being played by most people, and because if you start adding in mods, you run the risk of like ID conflicts or just compatibility issues with other mods and stuff that really for just one person, it's not really a very smart thing for me to do. Because if we have a problem, that just falls onto my shoulders, and I already really restricted with time already. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna stick with Unhinged, and I'm going to. There's a couple changes I made in the configs. I made it so only the Greg Tech version of the modular power suit is craftable. Like if you were to sign on to the server and actually look at the recipe, you'd be able to see the vanilla recipe and like the other easy ones, but you can't actually craft them. So I'll probably make it so they have to download the config files too, just so it's not any confusion about that or anything. But also, I was thinking of at first like taking out descriptive books just like this world, but I think I'm gonna actually leave them in. And one way I can kind of limit the number of worlds that are going to be created by people is taking out the instabilities. So that way you're not making a bunch of just junk worlds. I'm not really sure that makes much difference. I mean, because a lot of places you just walk into real quick, see that it's like, you got mining fatigue 3 or something stupid like that, and just leave it. So that's just kind of a waste of hard drive space, really, because you're never going to go back there, and it's just like, okay, I just created a bunch of area that I'm never going to return to. But then again, I suppose there's a lot of land you're never going to go back to on the overworld and stuff like that. But with the whole memory leak issue, I'm not sure if they've completely resolved that in the 1.5.2. I think they have. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, hopefully we don't have to do like another map reset after like the first couple weeks or something. So we'll see how it goes. I'll probably maybe just set a rule for like, okay, if you're gonna create worlds, like, okay, maybe create like 5 total or something like that. And if there's a junk world, they can just kind of maybe tell me about the realm number or something, or what do you call it? Age. Yeah, the age number, and that way I can just delete the folder and get rid of that age, so it's not wasting any space. Um, but okay, let me show you guys. You might notice this tank I've been looking at for a while here. It's this is the plasma, and it's helium plasma. This is the plasma generator. It generates 2048 EU per tick, each plasma generator, and this thing makes enough of this stuff. Like if you were to use all those generators at once, uh, it you can generate 64,000 EU per tick, or probably a little bit over that actually. But I'm not using that much, obviously. But just to run this thing alone takes. Here, let me show you the EU reader right here. Okay, so just going out this way is 11,000. And this side is even more because these are fully overclocked. Yeah, 12,000. So this is actually just the process of making this stuff that this thing burns is using about 25,000 around there, something like that. Um, I have it fully automated. I I first had switches to where I could just turn off the cells going into the bottom of these. Um, that would stop it from actually starting the recipe. Like I was getting a lot of lag when I would just cut the power to this thing because the recipe would still be in there, like it would still be, some progress in here, and then it gives that insufficient energy message. And this thing on the front here is like flickering, and I think that flickering causes like major FPS lag. So, um, so to prevent it from happening, let me show you the wiring down here. Yeah, I put a lovely emitter. So if these, because these are making hydrogen cells, that's what the output is. So I've said if the hydrogen cells are under say 300, then go ahead and let these fill up with cells, and then it just starts the process again and makes more hydrogen cells. As for these, I actually put the wire under here instead of because these don't even need cells. I don't know what I was thinking before. I was so used to it. And yeah, these are the plasma generators, and I have them all going to a high voltage transformer, each and every one of these. So every one has 4 packets of 512 EU per tick coming out. And there's 32 of them. So yeah, a potential of 64,000 EU per tick. And this is just connected to the bottom of the of that tank over there. These things say, like if you look at the recipe, it says that they store 1 billion EU. Yeah, see, look at that. EU storage, 1 billion EU, I think. But if you click on these, there's nothing in the GUI that tells you how much stored power it has. So I'm not so sure about that. I don't know if maybe this is like maybe not correct, or maybe it's for a later version of, like maybe the NEI data for this is actually not correct. Like it's for a later version of GregTech maybe? I'm not sure. All I know is this is new to this version, or maybe just the one, right before it or something like that. So maybe there's just some things he hadn't actually implemented yet. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know if these are actually storing anything or if they're just storing plasma. But each of them stores, just 10 buckets worth. And I'm not using it all, that's for sure. Let's see how much is coming out. 22,000. So it's just running the. This is just running the fusion coil, or the fusion coil takes 4,000 EU per tick, and then the stuff that I'm putting into the fusion coil is what's draining all the rest of that energy. So yeah, it's more like I'm making 40,000 extra EU per tick. So I could use that or basically store it. Okay, yeah, so I don't know exactly what will happen if this is full and there's no place for the plasma to go. If that would cause it to explode, or if the explosion would happen if, say, you put the wrong things in here, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the details of that yet. I don't remember seeing anything on the wiki about this thing exploding. I was gonna put warded glass around this, so if it did explode, it would only, explode itself and not everything in my base. But since we're gonna be retiring this map pretty soon anyway, so don't really care if it blows up. It would be just, I would just hope I was recording at the time it happened. Okay, let me start from the beginning with this, with what's going on with this thing. Like, okay, with the fusion reactor, I think I've kind of explained uh, what you gotta do to process all this stuff. Like, you gotta electrolyze the water, or in the industrial electrolyzer, to get these hydrogen cells, and then you put these into the industrial centrifuge. For every, I think, 4 of these, you get 1 deuterium, and to get tritium, you need 4 deuterium. So it's basically, I need a ton of water coming into this thing, which, yeah, I just put pipes over directly. I had a tesseract, I think, in the last episode. I don't know what I was thinking. It's like right here. Um, yeah, I was tired, I guess. I blame the tiredness. Um, but even this wasn't enough. These 3, this was draining pretty low. So I added 4 aqueous accumulators, and now it keeps up pretty good. It's not running all the time anymore because, once it's got enough of this, like once it's got over 300, I have it to where the level emitter is stopping the cells from coming in the bottom. Okay, and with these, I have it regulated through empty cells. I like to keep some extra empty cells for just, making other things. I'll have to keep an eye on that though, because if I use a lot of cells, it's going to, this number is going to start dropping, and this is the one we really have to watch because these will automatically start producing after it gets below 400, and I have that regulated with this right here, off to these red alloy cables. So they turn these on and put deuterium in the top, or like a stack of them at a time, and it'll keep this number above 400 pretty easily. So this is the one we have to watch. Like, I actually had to add another industrial centrifuge right here with just 1 overclocker, and it seems to be keeping ahead of things now. Like, the numbers actually will go up. It's turning off right now because I have this level emitter right here. Says, okay, if the cells are above 1,000, to turn these on. So it's just gonna kind of keep an extra supply of cells before it starts making these again, and these kind of build up in the meantime. So yeah, this is pretty much to the point where I don't even have to pay attention to it. That just turned on for a second. Yeah, because the cells went down really fast. Once this gets above 1,000, it says, okay, I can take the deuterium, or it says that these hydrogen cells can go in here, but then this goes below 300, and when that goes below 300, it wants more empty cells. So then this goes down, so that's why you saw it flash on for just a second there. I have these light up because if I were to put this cable along here, it would attach. I had it coming along the side and then going up on the top right here, but I think it looks better like this with the lights. You just see it light up instead, and just kind of a cool visual indicator, sort of cosmetic. Okay, that pretty much covers the production of this stuff. The way this is set up is, okay, you got fusion coils in the center of all these blocks. Like, I'm not going to break them right now because it'll stop the process. But yeah, if you go 1 block below each and every one of these, there's a fusion coil, which adds up to 32 of them. And the other blocks are you can kind of put them where you want. The computer can go in any one of these spots right here. Yeah, I guess you can't really put them in any place you want, but you can put them in these same locations. Like if you look at here, you can see all the possible places, like the plasma extractor. It shows the, solid blue, light blue box right there. And it shows it for, each side. So you can tell where you're supposed to put everything. It's a little confusing like this though. If you look at the wiki, they've got just, a visual representation of this. It shows everything in place though, which you don't have to have everything in here. Like it's these energy injectors, you only need 4. Certain processes take more initial energy though. The one that I'm using needs 40, I think it's 40 million EU, and each of these holds 10 million, so you need 4 of them. I think another one takes 80, so you'd either put like 4 right here or over here. It doesn't matter which corner you put it in, but that's where you can do it. As for material injectors, you need 1 on the bottom and then 1 on the top in one of these spots. But I have 2 of each on the top and the bottom. I'm not sure if that's necessary. I think you can do it with just 1, but these are pretty expensive too, so I figure I might as well just have some extra. And then you got the material extractor. This is just for the plasma, the helium plasma to come out. And I made 4 of them. Again, you could probably get away with 2, but I just did it for maybe, I don't know, symmetry or whatever. And you can't put a switch right here because you'll turn the computer off and it'll just shut the whole thing down. So that's why I have 2 switches here instead of just 1 in the center or whatever. I did the 1 in the center for the back though. And I just have buses putting the cells in the bottom. The deuterium goes in the bottom and the tritium goes in the top. And just extracting the empty cells. Like when you put the cells in here, it'll give you empty cells back, which is great. If it used them up, then yeah, you wouldn't even be able to do this really. You'd have to have a constant supply of tin. And yeah, this project took way more copper and way more tin than I was ever expecting. Mostly for the fusion coils, you need these iridium neutron deflectors. These things. And look at the recipe for this. You got an iridium plate. Yeah, kind of expensive, but you got these. You get this beryllium cell. These are 16 ender pearl dust. So just a lot of processing with that. I mean, we have endless ender pearls, so ender pearls. But each one of these needs 4 neutron reflectors too. So there's 8 of these. So you got, 8 times 4. Yeah. And then for each one of these, 8 times 4 times 4 of coal dust. And this would be 8 times 4 dense copper plates. And these are 8 copper plates squished together in the compressor. So yeah, it's mountains of copper you're gonna need for this. I mean, it's probably somewhere around 40 to 60,000, somewhere in there that I needed for this, which was well above the total amount I had. I mean, I could have been running quarries a lot more often, but it's kind of not my style. I usually just run the quarries when I need stuff. But yeah, I had no idea I actually needed that much extra stuff for this project. In the end, I've actually, because I have so many, all Ultimate Hybrid Solars, I was coming online, and usually I've got like, you know, somewhere around 2,500 UU matter. So I was looking into the different things you can make, and yeah, you can make rubies, so you can basically get chrome out of this. And I kept running out of titanium, which takes a lot of processing. You just make a T for titanium. Lapis, kept running out of lapis, so you just make an L for lapis, you know. Yeah, so UU matter is definitely convenient like that. You can just make anything you want. And now I've got way more UU matter. To actually use a lot of this energy, I think I'm going to make a bunch of matter fabricators. I mean, you can directly make iridium ore as one of the recipes instead of, you know, the plasma. But it's a lot more expensive. Like you need to make tungsten cells, or like wolfram is basically tungsten dust with an empty cell in the canning machine, I think, to make wolfram, and something else, I forget. It's expensive though. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not sure where to put them though, because I want to put a switch on each of them. Either that or be able to switch the whole group on and off. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. These are kind of expensive too, the matter fabricator. So yeah, I'm not even sure if I'm going to actually do that before we start the new map. I think this might be just about it. Alright guys, that's all there was really left to show with the fusion reactor. So this is what we decided to do with as our final act on the server. We all kind of, I made a big box out of TNT over my base with the filler. It's hollow inside. There's not TNT all the way through. I didn't really have that much. That would take quite a bit more TNT than I probably could have made. But I was the first to blow up my house, and I'll show you all three of our house destruction displays. Kind of like a fireworks display, like the finale. Okay, and here we go. I got a switch to ignite it, and I put a couple of these down. I'm not sure if they actually did anything. Oh, that's awesome. The lag wasn't awesome, but from here on out, that's pretty damn good. So much of the TNT just like got launched into the air. But yeah, you can see it thoroughly destroyed my house. I mean, there's still some stuff left that you know, that doesn't blow up very easily, but yep, it's all gone. Okay, now we're at Mountain Sinai's base, and part of it actually already blew up a little bit. He accidentally set some TNT next to a redstone signal, which is very easy to do. It's actually hard to avoid if you're just placing TNT everywhere like this. Wow, it actually looks better looking at it now. It's almost like it recorded better than it actually looked on the screen at the time. Yeah, that was pretty good though. And I'm going to leave a link in the description to Mountain Sinai's perspective. He redid this in single player, so I would strongly encourage you to go check that out. Okay, now on to Koopa Freak's base. This Koopa Freak, he's got these guys digging and setting TNT right underneath him. And they're going straight through his base, so he's kind of doing a little destruction right here too. See a bunch of stuff laying on the floor. Oh yeah. It's doing its thing. Oh no. You lit it already. Oh my goodness. I think that might have been an accident. I think he hit some redstone or something somewhere. Oh, I'm getting TNT to the face. Okay, let's see where this one is. Yeah, it's blowing up so much stuff. It's like having trouble updating because this isn't even here. Is it? No, this is still unexploded. That's crazy. Oh, here we go. I think it started going into unloaded chunks, so it stopped exploding. Like you have to follow it. Yeah. So we got some unexploded sections here. That was pretty cool though. I wish it was a better frame rate, but okay, so that's it for the base destruction. The three of us participated in this just because that's just the three that were on at the time. One last little explosion there. Yeah, 'cause it was just the three of us on that morning, and it was gonna switch over later that day, so we did a world backup before we started blowing this stuff up, so we all have a copy of it. I maybe leave that available. I'll ask other guys if they're okay with that too. If everybody's okay with it, I'll leave it maybe available for download. It's kind of big though. Um, pretty massive, so I'm not sure how long I can leave it up. It's not very practical for me. But yeah, that's it for this episode, and that's it for the season 2. And that's it for the season 1, I should say. 2 is in like also, but we'll be moving into Unhinged, and it's gonna be like a whole new game. Actually got a new server or a new server host, and it seems to be running a lot better. I think this version of Minecraft, or the newer version of Minecraft 1.5.2, is a lot more stable, at least with Forge and the mods and everything. There's not a lot of memory leaking going on, so it seems like a better experience so far. This was definitely very fun doing this world. Not very challenging though. I mean, we had as soon as you get the power suit, you're kind of like, it kind of feels like creative a little bit. That's definitely not going to be the case for Unhinged. I can tell you that already. So yeah, I'll see you in the next season, and thanks for watching, and thanks everybody for the support. So that's it. See you next time.